I am the biggest quad railway truther you will ever see, and I've been in denial that it's no longer the king. How can it be true? But after suiting up with a Gatling plasma, we enter into acceptance that it is king again. Not since the Legacy days has it reigned at such heights. Bethesda actually got some money out of me because I went and bought a third class slot so I can have a power armor build, because I'm not running this all the time. I'm only going in power armor for the raid. As I've mentioned before, running the raid Bloodied without power armor, it's just not recommended. You still don't out DPS the Gatling plasma, and you just made the game 20 times harder for yourself. It's fun for the challenge, it's cool to show off, but I've completed way over 100 raids all the way through. I've got all the Atom challenges, and I have never, one single time, come across another player that runs Bloodied with no power armor for the entire raid, beginning to end. I've seen people do it for certain parts, but of the 1,000 plus people I've been matched up with, because I don't run with a team, I don't like to, I just pick up randoms, I've never seen one other person do it. And it's because it's just not practical. The raid was balanced around power armor or full health. So, you put on some Overeater's Vulcan power armor, and now you can have it all. Still go Bloodied, still have high damage, and remove the possibility of being one-shotted completely. Throw on Electric Absorption, Vulcan fucking heals you. No one-shotting there. And what's ridiculous is, this isn't even my final form. I don't have the new mods yet. Stinging Receptacle and Accelerated Nozzle, maybe throw Calibrated in as well. I go Prime for now. And that would push the DPS even higher. They're just horrific to farm. I've been farming them in private servers, and it's just not happening. Not yet. I've got one plan so far. So add all that in, plus a few canned coffee, and it feels like you're using a legacy, the way the health bar moves on the snake. Because I played with a guy who did have his plasma fully kitted out, and we got the snake down in under 30 seconds. By myself, I can solo the snake now, which is probably the biggest reason I run the power armor, because quad railway Bloodied, it's just not enough damage and survivability to solo the snake. Technically possible, but you need to play like a god for about 5 minutes straight. And the DPS is barely enough to get the tail solo, but the Gatling plasma, absolutely no issue taking down the tail solo. Not to mention, if you're not in power armor, you can't shoot the tail when he spits poison or you will die, but now you can. So, some Vulcan armor, some rejuvenators, maybe some scanners, because you burn through AP quick, but it comes back almost instantly in that setup, and so it's kind of like an off and on thing. Like, you're shooting the whole time, and when the AP's back, you pull into your VATS. When it ends, you try to keep them sort of centered so you're still hitting the eye. And that's what we've been doing. Also, right at the very beginning, before you start the fight, we pop maybe 7 coffee, just to front load damage. And with me and Scott doing that at the same time, we can get him almost to half health before he does a single attack. So it's just absurd to run it this way. If you've got the coffee, if you've got, all the different mods to run all this shit. Not everybody does.